if you're going to put in insulation in your attic, it's $2.75 a square foot for the isonine. And the other stuff, it's like $70 a roll, but then you have to have a carpenter come in and put it in and staple it on. And the cost to me is exactly the same. So, you know, it just depends on what you want to do. If you want to get, I would start out with my insulation. I would start off with my tankless water heaters, my low flow shower valves, my single gallon flush toilet, a good solid ceramic tile, good solid cabinets and doors, Bahama shutters, and then the other things I would add in as you can add them in. And if, you know, if people say, well, the Bahama shutters are a lot of money, well, let's say one of them costs $300. That's what, 3 visits to the hairdresser and 3 times to get your nails done. And you got 1 hurricane shutter. You don't have to be running around when there's a hurricane looking for a piece of plywood to nail on your house that you're going to have to patch up afterwards, and you're going to have to store that plywood. So, you know, no, I don't think so. I think if somebody thinks that, if they want to just call me, I'll be more than happy to walk them through it and see how they could actually do it where it wouldn't cost them a lot of money. Funnily enough, you know, when you have to go to the bank and it's like a trial to go to a bank, so, you know, you figure, okay, well, you might as well just go and watch the news. So I go to the bank and stand in line like everybody else for the hour that you have to stand in line, and you listen to everybody talk. And people are really talking about, well, I have this really nice SUV, but it costs too much for gas, so I'm going to sell it, I'm going to get a smaller car. My husband and I are carpooling now. He's dropping me to work, and somebody else is picking up the children. We are doing things like putting solar lights outside instead of the other lights. So I actually hear just everyday people at the bank talking about how they're actually doing things to cut the costs. They're using less fuel, using less lights at home. They're concerned about their, you know, the air conditioning bills. What can we possibly do? And yes, I find Bahamians are really taking this seriously. It doesn't seem to be like, you know, when some things happen, they talk about it for a short period of time and then it's gone. This is, I would say, the last 6 to 9 months, every time I go somewhere, someone is talking about how they could be more energy efficient. If they already have their home, the first thing I would do is insulate their attic. That would be the first thing. Second thing I would do is I would add, I tend to like Bahama shutters. I like the look of them because they look like old Bahamian architecture. So that's why I go with that. But you can also do colonial shutters. I would do some kind of protection for the windows to filter the sunlight, whether it be a Bahama shutter or whether you tint your windows, do something like that. The next thing I would do is I would check your plumbing to see if you could maybe switch your toilets. A trick that my father taught me many years ago was he just took a brick and he put the brick in the back of the toilet tank, and all it does is displace the water so that you use less water. You use less water to fill it up and you use less water when you flush, and that doesn't cost you anything. The shower valves, a tankless water heater, those are the things that I would do. If you do have to replace any exterior doors, replace them with something that's good. Replace them with mahogany or oak or cedar. And it sounds expensive, but if you go to Kelly's, Kelly's have fabulous doors, not much money, and most of their doors that they have are mahogany. So you can buy them locally. You don't have to go away. And if there is anything that you really would like to get, I've worked with Mr. Collins at Tops and I've said, I really want such and such, and he will search it out for me. He'll order it, and within a week and a half, 2 weeks, he has the product there for me. So considering we have to bring everything into this country to build houses anyway, what difference does it make what we bring in? Do we bring in MDF or do we bring in real wood? We might as well bring in real wood. And the building, all the building companies, supply companies, are more than willing to work with you. They don't want to end up bringing in materials that they can't sell or bringing in materials that they have to stock. And when they stock them, 6 months down the road, half of them have gone bad because they've got moisture in them or something. So, you know, everybody's really willing to work with you. So I would say those same things: the attic, the windows, the fixtures, and the doors.
Deal says that in addition to being environmentally conscious, she also tries to support Bahamian businesses first.
I have always stressed Buy Bahamian. I try to bring in as little as possible. I try to use everything that's made in the Bahamas. And everything in this house was made by Bahamians. The windows and the shutters, Bahamas aluminum, owned by Bahamians. The floor tiles, that type of thing, Pinder Enterprises, the cabinets, Bahamas Woodworking Studios. Naturally, every one of those companies have to bring their products in to make their product, or their materials in to make their product. But I mean, you know, we wanted the cabinets in 6 weeks. We got our cabinets in 6 weeks. You know, I ordered my shutters and I said I wanted them, you know, the end of March. I got them the end of March. So the only thing that I haven't found here that I really have to search for is this fascia board. And that's just something that I've had to source out myself. And nobody here has it, but I can get it in the States and get it here in 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, I mean, everything is really available for anybody. And it's not like I get it because I'm a builder. No, I get it because, you know, I'm Debbie Deal and I just call in and I say I want this and I put my money down and I call repeatedly to find out if the product is ready for me. And when I want it, that's when I start saying, okay, deliver my products. And I think, you know, every single person could do exactly the same thing.
In the United States and Canada, the LEED certification system is already in place. This is the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design rating system, which measures the standard of sustainability of a building structure. Deal says that while the Bahamas does not have such a system in place, we can certainly work towards designing and building homes that would score high by these international standards. Deal says it's not only our responsibility to our country, but also to our children and to ourselves. That wraps up another edition of Green Nation, Healthy Nation. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gina Rogers-Seeley. Let's make the Bahamas a green and healthy nation.